We are under a slight risk for severe weather currently. We did have a severe thunderstorm watch that expired at 3 p.m. It is currently 9:30 something, and as you can see on the radar, that's what I'm telling this way right now. There is no, I don't believe there's a warning attached to that, but you never know.
Probably bigger than that. That's crazy. Big hill with these storms as well. Southwest of Wichita now. Nothing severe yet, but some storms are making it into Oklahoma. And look, we got a cute little boot. That's in Oklahoma. That will eventually become a bigger part of the climate swing east as well. Storms are expected tonight in Oklahoma. Ottawa, Kansas City, you guys are up next. I-35 corridor between Kansas City and Illinois. Considerably severe storm moving towards Vermont and Manchester in Iowa. Just a bunch of hail on here in the border in central Wisconsin. Those are warning close in Oklahoma. But I can't see it. exciting as multiple warnings and stuff. But this is an important part of what we do here. We monitor, we wait, and we relay information. And I know there's a lot of people in chat. Like it's impossible for me to read every message in chat. West Virginia today, or South Carolina, and that's not because I hate you, it's because nothing's happening here, and it's not my job to tell you about nothing. Anytime that your weather app on your phone can handle talking about the forecast to you, I leave that alone. And when I go on vacation, it's whenever the weather is like nice. You don't hear from me all day. You only hear from me. That's why there's a moderate risk. If there was no chance of that happening, then there would not be a moderate risk. Minnesota, no, you shouldn't be worried. This, and let's get just look at the map, y'all. This is northeast Arkansas. This is Missouri. This is Iowa. This is Wisconsin. This is Michigan. This is Arkansas. Now people are asking about, like, what about my area? Just look. This is all I can tell you. There is something specific to home in on, we will do that. Until then, we're just doing a general sweep of all the storms. And that's simple. Like that's the whole show right now. Which is great. This is much better than multiple tornadoes being on the ground. And I don't know if you guys agree or not. Thunderstorm warning just issued for portions of Kansas City. I think that's considerable. That's probably 60 mile an hour wind knowledge and forget. Ryan, did you see that EF3 that occurred in Delaware on Saturday? Yes, I did see that. Insane. Watching the potential rotation down here. That's
so far, I can say not severe. It's just a lot of lightning. You know, even the lightning's not that frequent. I don't know. Today's severe risk has turned into it seems like to be a dud. But I thought I'd film some of the lightning. show you guys what's going on. Like I said, like a lot of this is turned into kind of a quick bomb. But we are still under a slight risk, so I don't know if anything worse is going to happen or not. The only thing we can do is probably wait and see if anything more happens. I doubt anything will kind of happen, but like we're looking at it basically as right now, like I said, just a lightning thing right now.
In the lower 30s. West winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Gusts up to 35 miles per hour in the evening. Thursday, sunny. Highs in the lower 50s. West winds 10 to 20 miles per hour with gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Thursday night, clear. Lows in the lower 30s. Northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, sunny. Highs in the lower 50s inland, but only in the mid-40s near the lake. Friday night, mostly clear. Lows in the mid-30s. Saturday, mostly sunny. Highs in the lower 60s inland, but only in the mid-50s near the lake. Saturday night, mostly clear in the evening, then becoming partly cloudy. Lows in the mid-40s. Sunday, partly cloudy. Highs in the upper 60s inland, but only in the lower 60s near the lake. Sunday night, mostly cloudy with a 40% chance of showers. Lows in the lower 50s. Monday, mostly cloudy in the morning, then becoming partly cloudy. Highs in the upper 60s inland, but only in the lower 60s near the lake. Monday night, mostly clear. Lows in the upper 40s. Tuesday, partly cloudy. Highs in the lower 70s inland, but only in the mid-60s near the lake. You're listening to NOAA Weather Radio, KZZ 81, serving Chicago, the west and south suburbs, and northwest Indiana. The current time is 9:55 p.m. Central Daylight Time. The following is a wind advisory from the National Weather Service, which includes the following counties in Illinois: DuPage, Grundy, Kane, Kankakee, and Kendall, and Lake, Indiana. What? Southwest winds 20 to 30 miles per hour with gusts up to 45 to 50 miles per hour expected. Where? Portions of central, east central, north central, and northeast Illinois and northwest Indiana. When? From 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time to 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time Wednesday. Impacts. Gusty winds could blow around unsecured objects. Tree limbs could be blown down and a few power outages may result. Travel will be hazardous for high-profile vehicles. Additional details, along with a strong non-thunderstorm wind. Strong to severe thunderstorms may produce wind gusts of 50 to 60 miles per hour or greater Wednesday morning through early afternoon. Use extra caution when driving, especially if operating a high-profile vehicle. Secure outdoor objects. Now here is the hazardous weather outlook for portions of north-central Illinois, northeast Illinois, and northwest Indiana. For tonight, weather hazards expected: elevated thunderstorm risk with an associated limited tornado risk, limited hail risk up to golf ball size, limited damaging wind risk up to 65 miles per hour, limited flooding risk, elevated non-thunderstorm wind risk. Discussion: waves of thunderstorms will continue late this evening and again after midnight. While damaging hail is the most likely threat, the most intense storms may produce damaging winds as well as a non-zero tornado risk. And now the extended outlook for the period Wednesday through Monday. Wednesday, elevated severe thunderstorm risk. Limited flooding risk. Elevated non-thunderstorm wind risk. Discussion. Scattered severe thunderstorms are probable Wednesday morning through the early to mid-afternoon. The main severe threats are expected to be damaging wind gusts and tornadoes, with large hail also possible. Non-thunderstorm winds will gust up to 45. Other information statement. Spotters may be needed over northeast and 50 to 55 miles per hour. At 9 p.m. hold your airport light rain. Showers and thunderstorms likely late in the evening, then a chance of showers and thunderstorms after midnight. Freezing. Marking as unseasonably warm. Evening lows around 50 following suburbs, then temperatures rising into the 50s after midnight. Lows in the mid-60s city and south suburbs. South winds 15 to 25 miles per hour with gusts up to 35 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation 60%. Wednesday, windy. Mostly cloudy with showers and thunderstorms likely in the morning, then partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Breezy with highs in the lower 70s. Temperatures falling into the mid-50s in the afternoon. Southwest winds 20 to 30 miles per hour with gusts up to 45 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation 70%. The following is a special weather statement from the National Weather Service. A strong thunderstorm will impact portions of southeastern Lake and north central Cook counties at 10:45 p.m. At 9:59 p.m., Doppler radar was tracking a strong thunderstorm over Park Ridge, moving north-northeast at 40 miles per hour. Hazard, wind gusts to 50 miles per hour. Source, radar indicated. Impact, gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Locations of hazard include Chicago, Evanston, Skokie, Des Plaines, Mount Prospect, Glenview, Logan Airport, Wheeling, Park Ridge, Northbrook, Elmville Village, Niles, West Ridge, Irving Park, Highland Park, Wilmette, Lake Forest, Franklin Park, Norwich and Belmont Cragen, including the following interstates: Interstate 90 between mile markers 73 and 84. Interstate 94 between mile markers 23 and 44. Interstate 2 at 94 between mile markers 23 and 44. This includes Open Community College, Lake Forest College, Northeastern Illinois University, Northwestern University, and Rotary Music Festival. In outdoors, consider seeking shelter inside a building. At 10 p.m., a strong thunderstorm was located near Wilmette Harbor, moving northeast at 40 knots. Hazard, wind gusts to nearly 50 knots. Source, radar indicated. Impact, small craft could be damaged and briefly higher winds and suddenly higher waves. Locations impacted include Montrose Harbor, Wilmette Harbor, Belmont Harbor, and Diversey Harbor. Here is the forecast for the Chicago metropolitan area. Wind advisory in effect from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Wednesday for Cook County. This watch includes the following counties in Illinois: Boone, Vero, Carroll, Cook, DeKalb, DuPage, Ford, Grundy, Iroquois, Kane, Kankakee, Kendall, LaSalle, Lake, Lee, Livingston, Marshall, McHenry, McLean, Ogle, Stevenson, Vermilion, Whiteside, Will, Winnebago, and Woodford, and the following counties in Indiana: Benton, Jasper, Lake, Newton, and Porter, and the following: Winthrop Harbor to Wilmette Harbor, Illinois; Wilmette Harbor to Northerly Island, Illinois; Northerly Island to Calumet Harbor, Illinois; Calumet Harbor, Illinois to Gary, Indiana; Gary to Burns Harbor, Indiana; Burns Harbor to Michigan City, Indiana; Lake Michigan from Winthrop Harbor to Wilmette Harbor, Illinois, 5 nautical miles offshore to Mid-Lake, and Lake Michigan from Wilmette Harbor, Illinois to Michigan City, Indiana, 5 nautical miles offshore to Mid-Lake. Remember, a thunderstorm watch means the conditions are favorable for the development of severe weather, including large hail and damaging winds, in and close to the watch area. While severe weather may not be imminent, persons should remain alert for rapidly changing weather conditions and listen for later statements and possible warnings. Stay tuned to NOAA weather radio, commercial radio and television outlets, or internet sources for the latest severe weather information.
There we go, severe thunderstorm watch. So, gonna have to monitor the weather now, definitely.
The National Weather Service in Chicago has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Porter County in northwestern Indiana, Lake County in northwestern Indiana until 6 a.m. At 5:10 a.m., severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from Couts to near Hebron to near Momus, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour wind gusts and half-dollar-size hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Gary, Portage, Merrillville, Valparaiso, Schererville, Hobart, Crown Point, Highland, Chesterton, Cedar Lake, Lowell, Hebron, Griffith, St. John, Lake Station, Lakes of the Four Seasons, South Haven, Porter, Winfield, and New Chicago. Including the following interstates: Indiana Interstate 80 between mile markers 6 and 16. Indiana Interstate 90 between mile markers 12 and 37. Indiana Interstate 94 between mile markers 16 and 32. Indiana Interstate 65 between mile markers 236 and 261. This includes Indiana University Northwest, Valparaiso University, Indiana Motor Speedway, Indiana Dunes State Park, Lake County Fairgrounds, Porter County Fairgrounds, and South Shore Rail Cats Baseball. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building.
rotation weaken instead of strengthen, but it's still something we have to certainly keep an eye on. What more do you have for us?
Yeah, this whole line, Mike, moving into that warm and moist environment. And this is something we saw a lot last Friday, is these circulations can kind of broaden and weaken and then tighten back up very quickly. So just because we're hearing that let's see if we've got any new information. Severe thunderstorm warning is issued. Let's see, they're keeping it for Kane and Kendall now until 7 a.m. So we're adding a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. That storm is still just out ahead of you. They're just prompting early severe thunderstorm warning, and they're extending it into Kane and Kendall. But again, just even though we're saying some of that rotation is potentially weakening a little bit, does not mean it can't tighten right back up. So we are still under a tornado warning for DeKalb County. We've got reports of pea-sized hail as well in some of these northwest Indiana areas. You've got some of those thunderstorms moving through. None of those are severe level at this point, but I know Mike had mentioned those, so just a heads up there. I'll get you some of these warnings. So this is what's going on. You can see the new warning here that was just extended into Kane and Kendall County. That's for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. It's that same line of storms. They're just extending outwards. So Kane, time for you to get prepared as well. You've got this in place until 7 a.m. Tornado warning is for DeKalb County at the moment. Really eyeing that NIU area, that I-88 area right now, and we'll continue that warning until 6:45. If you guys can take my maps, actually, so people can get a good look at the locations. There we go. Anybody, DeKalb, Sycamore, Pierce, Waterman, Little Rock, that I-88 area near DeKalb, you are under the tornado warning until 6:45. This is radar indicated rotation. Again, Weather Service has mentioned it's weakened a bit, but we can see that tighten right back up as it continues to track east into this warm and moist environment. Outside of that tornado warning, we have severe thunderstorm warnings. They're in place until 7 a.m. That includes northern LaSalle County, northern northwestern Kendall County, all of Kane County, all of McHenry County. Those in place until 7 o'clock in the morning. So we'll see if they continue this. See how that line of storms is getting really close now to that Kane-DeKalb County line. That bowing is occurring as well. Sometimes when we see that bowing occur, we can start to get some real gusty winds out of that. So we are in constant communication with the Weather Service to see if they extend that tornado warning into Kane County. Right now, they are keeping it as a severe thunderstorm warning, though they are leaving that tag as tornado possible. So there's a look at your radar right now. That's our cold front. These storms firing up along ahead of it, moving into this warm, moist environment. We'll likely see more and more warnings issued now as we go through these next couple of hours as this continues to track further eastward. The entire line moving east around 60 miles per hour. So we've got not a real quick moving storm here. Here's a look at those velocity scans. And whenever we show you these, it's when we're looking for any kind of rotation to be occurring. Reds and greens meeting each other is where you typically see at least radar indicated rotation. I'll turn our warnings off in the background, see if we can see anything in here. A couple of these little divots we keep an eye on. Again, like the Weather Service said, not seeing any indications of any real spin occurring at the moment. It does look like they're going to keep that tornado warning in place here. So here's a look at your radar and exactly what's going on right now. Line of storms moving eastward, east-northeastward around 60 miles per hour. Gusty winds around 60, 65 miles per hour. We'll continue to see this move east. Mike Jansen has a look at a camera, actually, we have at NIU and DeKalb. I know that's right under that warning, Mike. Any spin? Can you even see anything? That's what's tough, these nighttime, early morning before the sun's up.
One thing I have seen, you notice you got these flash every now and again. You can see the sky brighten up. Lots of lightning with these thunderstorms that are out there, but certainly a downpour going on currently on the campus of Northern Illinois University. You can see the rain just flying on by there. We can drop on down here to Sandwich. They too find themselves under a warning. Not looking awful there, but boy, it's so very early in the day, but you can pick up a little bit of the clouds here. You see the clouds going on as we continue to watch these trek off to the northeast. The good news is not seeing anything coming down out of these clouds right now. That's what we do not want to see, is the potential of seeing maybe a wall cloud starting to form there. We don't have anything like that currently going on, but certainly keeping a very close eye on what's happening there. And as we go through the morning hours, and we go into the rest of today, what we have to have the potential for is us seeing some hefty thunderstorms, right? Well, you notice that line that's moving in here right now. The biggest threat, as we've gone through the morning hours, is that potential for maybe seeing large hail and but certainly the wind probabilities here. You notice what the Storm Prediction Center does is it breaks this down. The potential here of a 15% chance of seeing a 58 mile per hour wind gust or stronger within 25 miles of any given point. That's the area shaded in yellow. Certainly a better chance you get to the southeast. But there's a 30% chance of seeing 1 inch hail, and then these hashed areas, which is those black lines that also accompany that 30% chance area. That's when we may be looking at hail that could be getting up to 2 to 2.25 inch in diameter. That certainly would cause some damage. The tornadic threat right now really being painted further to the southeast, but anywhere in the region, you have at least a 2% chance of seeing a tornado within 25 miles of any location across our region here. So once again, we continue to watch what we've got going on in terms of that line of thunderstorms. I thought it was maybe some good news, Morgan. It seemed like the new warning that was maybe to the east of where that tornado warning, if I'm not mistaken, was kind of trying to keep one eye on two screens.
Yeah.
But the next warning, I think maybe over to Kane and to Kendall County, did they prompt a new one there that was just a severe thunderstorm warning?
Yep.
So that would maybe be some good news. If you're to the east of that tornado warning, if we're getting a severe thunderstorm warning, that would be some good news. But again, as Morgan has said, you kind of put that disclaimer on there. Even if it's a severe thunderstorm warning, it could still produce a tornado. So I think you got your radar up, and you could probably go to that a little bit easier than I can.
And I think what Mike is really trying to portray is you kind of start to see these divots flatten out a little bit. So that's something that we look for in terms of good news, to where some spin may be winding down, maybe getting very wide. We are still watching some very broad rotation in the DeKalb County area, so we are going to keep that tornado warning in place for DeKalb County until 6:45. The National Weather Service saying they're not planning at this moment to keep, or to extend, I should say, that tornado warning into Kane County. Notice they've just kind of shortened that box, that red box on your screen. We'll zoom in there. So it is still for DeKalb County, that Hinckley area, Pierce, basically right along that Kane County edge. And then they're choosing to extend this as a severe thunderstorm warning for Kane County. So if you are just tuning in, here's what's going on. Tornado warning in place in red there. That's for DeKalb County, includes I-88. Watching some rotation very broad just south of Interstate 88. I'll show you that in a second. Outside of that red area, all of the orange, those are severe thunderstorm warnings. So northern LaSalle County, really now, especially as we get into parts of northern and northwestern Kendall County, all of Kane, all of McHenry, you're under severe thunderstorm warning. That's until 7 a.m. That is in place for 60, 65 mile per hour wind gusts. We are keeping this tag saying tornado is possible. So while you're not under a tornado warning if you're in orange, there is the potential still for these storms to be capable of producing a tornado. So we'll watch and see if they continue to spread any of these severe thunderstorm warnings eastward as this line of storms tracks a little bit more into the county, really in our central sections. There's a look at the radar. You can see that storm right on your heels, Kane County. It's right on the county line now. Again, you can see likely really heavy downpours if you're in that I-88 area in DeKalb County, at least on the eastern edge of it. Let's look at some of these velocities, see if we've got anything. We're watching this really broad rotation near the Hinckley area. Again, this all moving northeastward. Let's see, I'll throw some towns and get a little rule out here. That Pierce area, Caneville, will keep you just, be on your heels. Maple Park, actually, let's keep an eye up there. I'll circle some of these areas I just want to pay attention to. All of this here. So again, you do not have a tornado warning in Kane County. You have a severe thunderstorm warning. We are leaving the tag that a tornado is possible. That is in place until 7 a.m. as it moves from west to east through your county. It's moving around 55, even 60 miles per hour, it looks like, northeastward. Right now, that storm that's capable of producing the tornado is near that Maple Park area. It's 8 miles southeast of DeKalb. It's moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning, and for Kane County is really what we're immediately watching, because you're the county that's got that storm that's at least has some history of producing some of that rotation moving into your area. McHenry County, you are also under a severe thunderstorm warning right now, keeping that more so as a wind gust threat. Typically, when you get these line of storms along a cold front, our biggest concern is almost always a wind threat. So we're looking 60, 65 miles per hour. Something we watch, though, we call these lines a QLCS, right, Mike? So QLCS tornadoes, these typically weaker, shorter-lived tornadoes can spin up on the leading edges of these lines, and that's what we saw happen last Friday. We had a lot of EF0, EF1 tornadoes last Friday. That's also also what we're going to keep an eye on here this morning. It's that same type of linear system that can produce that spin on the leading edge of it. So we're going to keep an eye on this. Mike is working right now to get you a tracker. In the meantime, we are all under a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 o'clock in the morning. If you're in the yellow-orange shading there, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning in place until 7 a.m., 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and then, of course, still watching that tornado warning. That's in place until 6:45, so about another 8-9 minutes. It's 6:36 right now, and that, again, is moving right into that Kane County area. Mike, let's throw it over to you. I think you've got something new up.
Yeah, just trying to take that wedge and trying to highlight it even more so you kind of get an idea of that area, the bright red here, that polygon, you notice that it shrunk down. That's certainly some good news. You're talking about just the very eastern sections of DeKalb County, but right along I-88 here, and you notice that tornado warning does not extend into parts of Kane or Kendall counties. That's certainly what you like to see. But this tornado warning, now you have not a highly densely populated area, but it's around 13,417 people that's being estimated here that live in this location. But they're talking about Cortland, Hinckley, Pierce. Again, this is radar indicated possible tornado, thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado at any time. There's the thunderstorm we are talking about with all that lightning, and it continues to move off to the northeast at roughly 60 miles per hour. Give you an idea of where it could be shortly. Blackberry at 646, Elgin at 656, Schaumburg 708, Wheeling 718, and 723 in Northbrook. Morgan has mentioned this is not just about this tornado warning that's going to run here for another 8 minutes, but also that line of hefty thunderstorms continuing to march towards the east. And they've been moving rather quickly here this morning. So anybody that finds themselves in the path of these storms, you could still be looking at winds gusting upwards of 60 miles per hour or greater, or hail that certainly could start to impact some areas as well. But over here in Chesterton, you notice another round of thunderstorms that has fired up there. That had prompted some warnings earlier, but that's certainly a more impressive line of thunderstorms now that is east of I-39, impacting parts of McHenry County, the far western sections of Kane County that's under a severe thunderstorm warning. Also the northwestern parts of Kendall County, severe thunderstorm warning, down to around Ottawa that we have that warning as well. Let's not forget the entire region's under a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 o'clock this morning, as we are watching a cold front that's going to be marching through the region, and out ahead of it we have these thunderstorms that are firing up, and it looks like the entire area, that potential is there. You could end up with a hail that gets maybe up to 2 inches in diameter. Maybe you have winds gusting upwards of 70 to 75 miles per hour, and of course the tornadic threat we've been monitoring. As for the strongest wind gusts so far, that earlier thunderstorm in Valparaiso that prompted the warning had a 61 mile per hour wind gust there. Michigan City at 50 miles per hour, 49 miles per hour in Rockford with this latest line, in Harvard up at the Richard D. Crosby Elementary School, weatherbug station there with a gust of 48 miles per hour. As for what's happening closer to home, it's 70 degrees in Soldier Field. 70 degrees, so it gives you an idea of just how warm and unusually humid it is out there right now. And you see the visibility as you try to look out from our Northern Illinois University weatherbug camera. The rain certainly coming down there quite heavy, but not as heavy as it was just a little bit ago. As we drop down into the southeastern sections of DeKalb County, Sandwich, things looking relatively quiet there. Earlier we saw those low-lying clouds that were out there. This thunderstorms continuing to march off to the east. If we go through the rest, or as we go through the rest of the morning hours, you're wondering who has the best potential of maybe seeing some severe weather. Well, the National Weather Service breaks it down like this. The area in orange, that is where you have an enhanced risk, the 1 through 5 scale. 3, the highest in our area right now, lesser potential off to the northwest. But as we go through the rest of the morning and as we maybe get the sun up, maybe add a little heat out there, we already have temperatures running in the 70s, dew points in the 60s. It's sticky. You step outside, you'll notice that. But the potential there, especially I think northwest Indiana, you have to watch out for things later on today. We start to maybe warm up a little bit more with the atmosphere we currently have going on. But the good news is, maybe things will start to quiet down just a little bit in terms of the tornadic threat, but we have to keep an eye on everything. I think that last tornado warning was going to go until 6:45. You see these temperatures running in the 70s. Not very pleasant at this point in time. You step out there, so we have a warm and juicy atmosphere. Morgan, is that warning still going on? I'm trying to catch 2 screens and watch you as well.
Yeah, you and I both, Mike. It looks like they're keeping the tornado warning in place still for another 5 minutes. So it looks like the bulk of that activity that we're really concerned about is moving into that Kane County. They're likely very busy there, making sure they're issuing these ahead of time. I do just want to mention, Mike, you were talking about those gusty winds. There is a report of a 79-mile-per-hour wind gust in the Compton area. That's in Lee County, so that's just west of DeKalb County. It's the same storm that is now tornado warned, that is now moving into Kane County as a severe thunderstorm warning. So certainly seeing gusty winds, and that's what we watch for, especially when this kind of bowing occurs along these lines. We look for those gustier winds, and that's what we had over in Lee County. Now reports of some at least severe thunderstorm level damage with 79 near 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts there. If you're just tuning in, we've got tornado warning in place for DeKalb County. The rest of the area is under a severe thunderstorm warning. We're going to continue the severe thunderstorm warnings. Those are in orange there until 7 o'clock in the morning. In the bright red, that's your tornado warning. It's in place for DeKalb County for another 3-4 minutes, but this is really moving into now Kane County. So we'll likely certainly soon see that tornado warning dropped for DeKalb County. We're keeping the severe thunderstorm warning for Kane County. That's the immediate area of concern. Tornado possible with that right now. Not seeing those indications of the rotation on radar. See that bowing though that's occurring right now just west of Aurora along I-88. Where you start to see some of that bowing occur is where you can get some really gusty winds. So we're keeping a 65 mile per hour wind gust there, but certainly as this continues to move eastward and we see more of that bowing occur, we could watch for at least some higher wind gusts. And again, we did have one of those reported. Look at right over the St. Charles, Mike. I don't know if you can see my screen, but just that Caneville, St. Charles, Campton Hills area, I think we really got to keep a close eye on there. So we're talking the right now the central sections, really almost, or at least west central sections of Kane County. Again, no indication of any kind of tornado on the ground. Just watching maybe some broad rotation in those areas. I do want to make sure we're not leaving out anything down here near LaSalle. Okay, that looks all right. We're watching kind of this divot going on in LaSalle County. See near Ottawa, but that's falling apart as it's moving east. So I think we're all right there still at the moment. Most immediate concern is going to be that central Kane County area. You are St. Charles, Batavia, Elburn, that area we're going to keep an eye on. North Aurora, I-88 basically, right around that North Aurora area and immediately north of there. It's a severe thunderstorm warning. It is in place until 7 o'clock. Outside of that potentially that potential tornado threat, we've got 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. We typically don't get a whole lot of hail when we look at these kinds of systems.
Got some good news here, Morgan.
Okay.
I don't want to interrupt you, but the tornado warning was allowed to expire in DeKalb County. And then they've also canceled the severe thunderstorm warning. They've canceled the severe thunderstorm warning for DeKalb, Kane, Kendall, and LaSalle counties. That, according to the National Weather Service, just had this come out. They've canceled the severe thunderstorm warning. So that's a little surprising. But just coming across here, I'm guessing you probably see it as well on your screen.
You know what I wonder, Mike? I don't know if you remember on our map, and let me show you. We did have a severe thunderstorm warning for northern LaSalle, and they had it slivered right on the western edge of Kane and Kendall. So that may be the warning that they canceled. We'll watch and see if they drop these polygons, but I'm thinking they might have canceled the one that was just on that western edge, basically the county line. And I believe, and we'll keep watching this, I believe they're continuing to keep the one that includes all of Kane County and northern Kendall County. So just to be clear, it looks like at this point, Kane County, northern Kendall County, you are still going to be under the severe thunderstorm warning for those gusty winds, still capable of producing a tornado. But we'll watch and see if they drop that as this line weakens a little bit. Sarah, I think you had something to add.
Just a quick heads up for Metro riders on the UP Northwest line. They have stopped service right now in both directions. This between Harvard and Crystal Lake. So this impacting Harvard, Woodstock, Crystal Lake passengers because of these tornado warnings. So no service right now. Trains are stopped because of that. So if you're southeast of Crystal Lake, you won't have any issues here this morning, but just wanted to give you a heads up on that. This is a separate crash we're watching on I-55.
Okay, we have a severe thunderstorm warning actually just issued. And Mike, while I run through it, if you wouldn't mind throwing your radar up and zooming in on it, but this was just now issued for Lake and Porter County in northwest Indiana. Severe thunderstorm warning, and it's winds less than 50 miles per hour. So they're likely issuing this new warning for northwest Indiana, likely this cell here. And Mike's going to get you a closer look on that while I give you the info. Moving east-northeastward and bringing some larger hail, about an inch in diameter for hail. So if you have an alert going off in northwest Indiana, you are now under a severe thunderstorm warning. Looks like until 7:30 in the morning. Wind gusts less than 50 miles per hour, 1-inch hail. Mike has a closer look at that one right now.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, this is almost the exact location we had the severe thunderstorm warning earlier this morning. So this is round 2 for the folks that are in Porter and also Lake County, Indiana. So you notice that just getting it about the Hobart here, as if travel wasn't already difficult enough at times this morning along that 80-94 corridor. Another round of hefty thunderstorms would certainly cause things to quiet down there or slow down there. And then along I-65, you notice pretty hefty thunderstorms that has prompted that warning. Was just kind of looking at everything else that was going on, the latest from the National Weather Service on that particular severe thunderstorm warning that was in Lake and Porter County. What we had happening was maybe quarter-size hail, so an inch in diameter there.
Yeah, and there's some reports of pea-size hail too, Mike.
Yeah, and then moving to the northeast at 60 miles per hour. So another one of those thunderstorms, just like we had earlier. If you've been watching in the last hour, another round of thunderstorms just about in the same spot. Very fast moving, so you don't find yourself with a lot of time to get yourself into an interior room, get yourself away from windows. You're talking about winds that could be gusting out there and decent sized hail. You don't want to be anywhere close to the windows. Let's let this blow through. But if you were in Lake and Porter counties, you find yourself under a severe thunderstorm warning until 7:30. At 6:44, severe thunderstorm was located over Crown Point, moving to the northeast at 60 miles per hour. So that's just one area that currently has a warning ongoing. I think there's some good news is we no longer have any tornado warnings that are in effect, but we do have the severe thunderstorm warning. Notice for some of those areas that are across northwest Indiana. Yeah, and well, actually, we were just hearing in my ear, we were talking about some of the areas that have some darkness going on there with the clouds rolling in as if it's not early enough in the morning as it is. But I want to just show you, we got a driving camera that's out there. And then also, this is the type of morning, hey, maybe the sun would be out, right? We get a little bit of sunshine, so you have that driving camera there. But I've also pulled up our weather bug camera that is in St. Charles, and we were showing you the radar as the thunderstorm was approaching. You got some very impressive clouds that are happening there. Things dry at the moment, not pouring down rain, not overly windy. You can tell just by the flag flapping in the breeze there. But yeah, these thunderstorms are going to come in and make it become night once again until we get those thunderstorms to roll on through. And eventually these are going to reach, it looks like, downtown Chicago. And that'll slow things down out there on the roadways. We showed you that driving camera at the moment. But so far things have been, no reports of damage that I've seen yet. We have had some reports, though, of some pretty impressive winds. I think over 70 miles per hour, I think was what
in Lee County, yeah, we had one just shy of 80 miles per hour. If you're just joining us, they have now allowed that DeKalb County tornado warning to be canceled. We are now just looking at severe thunderstorm warnings, so they do add that tag saying tornado is possible. This is a look at your radar right now, this long line of storms, and immediately mostly keeping an eye on that Kane County area, though we do have some watches and warnings outside of that. So Kane County, most of the entire county, if you're on the very western edge of Kane County near DeKalb line, this is pretty much in terms of the danger past you and off to your east. But most of the county there in orange, you're in place under that severe thunderstorm warning until 7 o'clock in the morning. So the National Weather Service has made that decision to extend it all the way into McHenry County, also until 7 a.m. Our newest warnings include Lake and Porter County and northwest Indiana. Those are in place until 7:30. All of these bringing us different levels of threat. So if you're in the Kane County area, until 7 a.m., you've got this line of thunderstorms bowing out, bringing gusty winds 60, 65 miles per hour. It's a storm capable of producing a tornado. So our eyes are glued, and I mean glued to these velocity scans to make sure we're not seeing any spin. But if you're in that central and especially eastern Kane County area, this is on your heels. And then that northwest Indiana area, and unfortunately that Maryville area that just got rocked by some of those gusty winds, now under a severe thunderstorm warning, 1-inch hail possible. We've got more so pea-size hail reported at this point. We are all under a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 a.m. This line keeps moving east. We're going to keep you updated. Right now, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Chicago's very own WGN-TV, still going strong after 75 years.
Bring some comedic relief.
Go inside Bradley Place for a snapshot of what it's like working there today.
We hold down the fort.
WGN at 75, tonight at 9.
Daytime is fun time. Daytime is real time.
Junk in my trunk. Yeah, food. That's what
A good time.
That's the way to get the morning started.
Daytime Chicago, weekdays at 10 on WGN.
Wouldn't it be great if everything could be fast and easy? Well, nothing's easier than saving money with Insure on the Spot. Call Insure on the Spot today at 773-202-5060 or visit insureonthespot.com.
Being a father is a lifetime journey filled with many rewards, but that journey can be challenged during divorce.
Fathers' rights attorney Jeffrey Leving is a strong advocate who helps fathers work through the myriad of legal challenges and pitfalls that impact them and their children.
Dads, don't give up hope. Learn how we can make a difference for you and your children.
Visit dadsrights.com or call 312-356-DADS.
Could you keep it down? Oh, hey, sorry. I can't stop these kids from rocking, but I can help you replace all this. Rock on! With free installation on Felco windows, siding, doors, and roofing, plus no money down, no payments, and no interest for 1 year. There's never been a better time to upgrade your home. This offer won't last long. Hurry. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Felco.
Growing up, WGN and the Bozo Show were a very, very big deal at our school. And so when I was 8 or 9 years old in elementary school, our brownie troop, the Brownies, had a chance to go to the Bozo Show. And it was this huge deal. I remember driving down with one of my friends and the mom driving her station wagon. We had 4 or 5 girls in the station wagon. We get there, and then one of my friends gets picked for Bozo buckets. I think it was Megan Brunt. And I remember to this day how
Here's a look at how yesterday's votes were distributed across the city's districts. Johnson defeated challenger Paul Dallas by 2 percentage points.
Glenn is watching for the mayor-elect in Chattanooga.
Hey, good morning, guys. Now we're in Johnson. After Johnson stopped, they rolled out here about 9:40. Voters and roll up to that mayor-elect position. Now we know that on top of that, yesterday's runoff election between Paul Dallas and Paul Dallas himself has strong support for the mayor-elect.
Joining us now, thanks for being with us. Lots happening in politics as we fully get to Donald Trump. Let's start with Brandon Johnson and his win. And curious how this may have been city council bill rolled his agenda forward or possibly rolled it back. What are your thoughts?
Well, Mayor like Johnson certainly is the authority of the city council. I think we're big for the city, but he's also placed the city council that has formally taken a vote to become independent. We'll see how it goes to that. But at city council, you have a lot of work on the side of and others want to work certain city triggered that was the prosecution went up and delivered to the judge an ample messages, public statements about how he was attacking the judge and all of that before the judge. So that one is really tough because there are First Amendment rights that the president has. But the judge did specify some guidelines, basically telling him you better be careful not to use language that would incite people to violence or harm. But under that, once the president
Again, that's your thunderstorm warning now. At least that Chesterton area moved over the lake, so we'll likely see that get expired. And we can move back to the storm to work with the at the moment. Also, keep in mind that we're all looking for again, we're just looking at the County, especially Lake County, all along the east and east of there up to the lakefront for a severe thunderstorm. Okay, we'll take a lot of something for here. We're showing the 70s now. Let's see how she is today for the second. And things are just Members of supporters were crowding into Mar-a-Lago last night. What tells them that these impending charges will not change his strategy in his run for the White House. Now, Trump's next court hearing is scheduled for December 4th. That's when he's due back in New York City. This is going to be about 2 months before the Republican presidential primaries get started. Now, these items stands up. Mayor-elect Johnson will be sworn in on May 15th.
pull up to the front. You gotta get a cart, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, the storm is definitely hit.
Yeah, I see it.
Hopefully we don't get no hail.
I already prayed we won't get it.
It is crazy. Coming down in buckets, I'm telling you. Whew. I'm starting to slow down, looks like. A little bit. Hopefully it's not too much of a mess going over the bridge. At least we're not underneath that tornado watch.
Good, good.
Come on, person, drive.
Had to put the defroster.
Like I said, it is crazy.
Crazy.
This weather is crazy.
Yeah.
I like it though. I don't think they put any warnings out with this storm either. To say the least. To say the least, to say the least, to say the least.
Say the least.
So here are the current conditions. I went to the store hoping to make it before it came down, and it came down pretty good. But yeah, this is the way it's looking as of right now. We're looking towards what would be Chicago. So we're still under a tornado or severe thunderstorm watch until 11 o'clock. Now, most of it is probably just going to be light to moderate showers as that cold front gets ready to move through and stuff like that. You can see it is still raining out a little bit, but it is really slowed down. No, it's not super heavy. So, as you can see from the radar, that's where we're at. So, I really don't think anything's really to be severe. Like I said, they're probably going to let the severe thunderstorm watch expire at 11. But yeah, this is pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Yeah, I mean, this is the way the conditions right now, and this is the way it's looking. But I'll see you guys next video. Stay strong, stay lucid. Remember, love is louder, and I'll see you guys next video.